Hello everybody, this is Douglas from Other Than Intended Purposes. Jack is behind and somewhat to the left of the camera. You may hear him pipe up from time to time, who knows. I'm actually going to be doing this video in two parts. We're doing it right now where you can kind of see me and I can see my notes because there's technical data and it's better if I have notes. Actually since about this time last year, so for almost a year, I have had this headlamp, and I've mentioned it several times on different forums. I think I've mentioned it in a video or two, so I'm finally going to do an actual review on it. And because it's a headlamp, I'm going to do half of it in the dark, and we're going to be coming back out and doing the dark stuff after dark, because it isn't yet. What am I talking about? Who the hell knows? The Fenix hm65R headlamp. Now this thing has a lot of different modes. Each of the two lenses does a different thing. The smaller lens, oddly enough, is flood. The larger lens is a spot. And I have all of the technical data here, and then I will also just talk about my usage of it. So we'll start off. Length. It is 3.2 inches. Width is 2.2 inches. And height is 1.6 inches. Without the battery, it weighs 3.4 ounces. The battery does come with it. It's an 18650, and it is replaceable. Man, I must have really cranked that SOB down after I took it came with one of them little protective things, but it comes with a 3500 milliamp hour Fenix battery. It also comes with a charging cable, which is good because it is USB-C rechargeable. And so I do have to carry a USB-C cable with me because the other things that I generally charge off my battery backup use micro. But it is rechargeable from my battery backup. And just for my own, this did not come with it. This is an old sunglasses case that I broke the sunglasses years ago. I can put the cable and the lamp inside of this sunglass case so that when it is bouncing around inside of my wheelchair bag, it doesn't get damaged. That being said, it does have a 2-meter drop rating. It is IP68 dustproof and waterproof to 2 meters. And it does include one 18650 battery, one Type-C cable, and the over-the-top-of-your-head style over-the-top-of-your-head style headband. It does have 30 degrees of downward, that's more than 30. That's got 90 degrees, or about 80 degrees of downward rotation. It said 30 on my sheet. I must have wrote it down wrong. Now, output. The spotlight, which is the larger one, has a low mode of 50 lumens, visible for 121 feet, and will run for 97 hours. That's a long run time. Medium, 130, runs for 48 hours and is visible for 187 feet. High is 422 hours, 331 feet. Turbo is 1000 lumens, will run for 2 hours, and is 535 feet. The floodlight, which I use a lot more often, low is 8 lumens, will run for 300 hours and will go 20 feet. Medium, which is what I use most often, 130 lumens, 50 hours, and 98 feet. High is 400 lumens, 21 hours, 180 feet. Okay, we're done with the paper. I use this light anytime I'm out of the house after dark in my chair. There are street lights in this town, but they are intermittent, and the ones that are there don't always work, and they throw nice little yellow spots between the big gaping dark areas on the road. And sidewalks in this area, in this whole county, not just this town, but the whole county, are more of a fantasy than a reality. They have places where they have sunk in and have raised areas that are as much as 2 to 3 inches high. They have cracks, they have potholes in them. You'll be riding along after a while and there just won't be a sidewalk. It'll be gravel or dirt or mud. You only need to be rolling down the road once with an inferior flat headlamp on and find one of those potholes or find one of those 3-inch raised pieces of concrete and get thrown clean out of your chair. And when you do crawl back to your chair, find out that you've damaged the caster arm and you have to have your chair sent in and you ain't got one for 2 weeks while they wait for parts. To know that having a lamp this powerful and this reliable is what you want. Now, when it's got, like I said, it's got the 2 lenses. It also has, Jack, can you take this up so it can be seen good? It's got 2 buttons on it. And the buttons, one is for the flood and one is for the spot. Now, if you hold both of them down for 3 seconds, you get a blink like that for 4 times. That tells you it is locked. You hold, or no, that unlocked it. It was already locked. That unlocked it and turned it on. You got your modes. Turn it off. With it turned off, if you hold it down 3 seconds and you get the blinking, now it's locked. So pushing it, you'll get the thing that says, nope, you're locked. Try pushing it again. You get, nope, you're locked. Hold both of them down for 3 seconds. Boom. It tells you you're unlocked. And when it's unlocked, it gives you your battery indication at the top. And anytime, oops. I just blinded myself. That is really freaking bright. I'm not as bright as this light because I just blinded myself and now I have 2 little blinking white lights in front of my vision. I'm going to lock it again.
I got the same thing because it got pointed at me after.
Wow, I'm still getting like 2 little, one perfect little round one and one that's a halo because it's got the, oh man. I'm leaving this in because, well, I screw up. I never tried to say I don't screw up. So that's about all I'm going to say on this until it gets dark. And when it gets dark, I'm going to put this on and we'll probably come out here because it is, when it gets dark here, it is dark. 50 yards that way, it's about 3 times as light as it is right now. The reason it's like this is because we're under the redwood canopy. If we stepped out where the road is, it's bright enough that you need sunglasses. And right now I'm kind of wishing that my tinted auto-adjusting transition lens, thank you Jack, transition lenses would transition back to not being as dark as they are. But anyway, that's all for this right now. This part 2 will come after dark. Stay tuned because while we're sitting here we have 2 other videos we're going to be shooting today. But for now, I'll see you in a little while.
phone right now.
Okay, this area right here seems like a pretty decent section of sidewalk. It's not uncommon for people to just leave stuff like that on there. Coming up to areas like this where the cans are so far out, you can't really get past them. Okay. Thank you. And then here's one of the problems with sidewalks here. This is the sidewalk. We are in the middle of town. There's not much light here. If I turn my light out, this is what you see. So even on low on this headlamp, it allows me to see that I'm now entering a gravelly mess. And then right here's a big old stump or thing. And if I hit that at speed, it would throw me clean out of my chair. As it is, it's going to tilt me substantially to get through this. Sections like that in this town are not uncommon, and full on wrong one. Full on lack of road in between, again, not uncommon around here. Turn it off.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
This is another place that if you're walking, you may not even notice this. But right here, you've got almost an inch of lip, and then you've got a little hole right there. If I'm moving at full speed and I hit that, it's enough to make my wheels shift. That's not going to throw me out. It's not going to do any long-term issue, but if my wheels hit that and shift, it can make me drop off the side of the curb if they shift hard enough. Because even though I steer mostly by the power of my wheels, the casters can determine whether or not which direction you're going. So those front casters getting hit and twisting can cause a lot of problems. That's why I have this headlamp all the time when I'm in town. Now we're going kind of slow right now, so I have it on low. But to show you the modes, okay, that's off. We've got medium. Whoa, I guess that's low. We were on medium, and that's high for the flood. On the other side of it, we've got, that is low, medium, high, and turbo for the throw. Now if you look at that, those stop signs are a block apart, and I'm 2/3 of the way down this block, and I'm lighting up that 1-2 away. That's not bad for a headlamp. Now I generally don't use the spot like I said, right now I'm using medium on the flood because I really want it to light up right in front of me and in an angle. But that is why I have a headlamp, and that's why I like this headlamp, is because it gives me that option. If I'm traveling faster, I can turn it up to high so I can see a little bit down the road. And if I'm in an area that's really rough, I can have the flood and the spot at the same time. And if I turn that spot up to high and the flood up to high, I've got daylight in front of me for quite some ways. That's too much light for me right now though. So we're gonna go back to medium. Actually right now we're gonna turn it off and stop the video for a minute. Okay, once again, now this is not uncommon in this town. And it's more common in other towns in this county than it is here. I'm on a sidewalk. This is a four-way intersection. The road is right. The road is right there, and this is the sidewalk continuing down the direction we need to go. Come here, Jack.
Most chairs would have difficulty with this, and I have seen some wheelchairs get stuck in this.
Now, in my old chair, which was a perfectly good chair, I'm not trying to slam it, but it was a city chair, the Paramobile 400, M400, would not have been able to traverse this. Now, there's a freaking ditch right there in it. There's nothing resembling flat. I'm not sure what I just rolled through, but it made me tip. And I would like to tell you that I would like to be able to tell you that, wow, this is an amazing thing. I never see this, but I can't do that. Oh, that hurts. I can't do that because this is how this town is. And you see the cars parked right next to it. This is the best they got for a sidewalk here. Oh. Dang, I'm rattling around. There is a lot more of this between here and where we're going, but talking while bouncing is not that easy, and I don't want to disturb people that might be trying to turn in because it is dark. Whoa, got a little mountain here. Once I get back on pavement, I'm going to do something. I'm going to say goodbye. So, thank you for watching the video. If you are looking for a headlamp for any purpose, I'm going to try to get that out of the camera a little bit. If you are looking for a headlamp for any purpose, this is a really good one. This, like I said in the beginning, this is the Fenix hm65R. And it really covers just about any situation where you need to have a good piece of light hanging on your forehead. So get out in the woods, have fun, and remember, the best equipment in the world don't do you any good if you don't know how to use it. So practice with your stuff. Good night.